Hey guys, what's up? This is Ehsan and I'm going to introduce you to our new software which is called Log Analyzer for 2D soccer simulation environment. It should be mentioned that my dear colleagues Farzin Negahbani and Shahriar Bahmai also helped me to develop this software, and I'm going to have this tutorial for you. In this tutorial, I'm going to answer 5 questions you may have about this software. The first question is, what is Log Analyzer? Second, how can I install it on my system? Third, what are the features it proposes? Fourth, how can I use it for my work? And the last but not least is, how can it help me improve my team's performance? During this tutorial, I'm going to answer all these questions step by step so that you can find out what is Log Analyzer and how it can help you to improve your team's performance, and all the things you need to install it and to use it on your system.
See where we have the code. So as you can see here, this GitHub repository is under Farzin Negahbani's repositories, and it's called Namira underline Log Analyzer. I will put the URL of the repository under the video, YouTube video, so we can easily access that and see if we have any new updates or other versions. So this software, as the description says, is a Python script for parsing and analyzing agent 2D soccer simulation RCL and RCG logs. So people in the community know that each game that we play in the 2D environment leads to have two log files which have different formats, RCL and RCG, and the server creates them to keep track of the information of the game. So for instance, I have a sample here for you, which is a game between Helios 2017 and FRA United, again 2017. So this is the final of the World Cup 2017 in Japan, and we have the data for everything that has happened throughout the game. So we can see the server parameters that are set here, and you can see player types and their capabilities, and also the messages that are about team graphics and so on and so forth. And finally, you can see for each cycle what are the information that you can access for each team. So these information include, but not limited to, the position, which is X and Y of the agents, position of the ball, and body direction, and angle, neck angle, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of information, but it's like very complicated to understand, because you can see it's just like all numbers and characters that you need to you need to know what each of them is, which is very hard. So we have defined and designed that software for you to be able to analyze the log files without going deeper to the codes, or without dealing with the files, reading them or something like that. So the aim is to help you analyze the log files. But we are not just extracting raw files, we are also using them to give you more intuition about how your team is performing during the game. So this software is very useful for you to generate comprehensive data about your team performance on different matches, and you can use them to evaluate different capabilities of your team. And finally, you can also use this extracted data to train machine learning algorithms. So you may find other applications for this software, but these are the things that we are going to propose. So to get us started, you can use any OS, Linux or its distributions. All of them are fine. You can use Windows or Mac OS or any other OS that supports Python. and its packages, which all the famous ones use. So we need Python 3 and an OS. Second, we need to do some pre-installation process. The first thing you should do is to copy and paste these two commands in the terminal. So here, if I just open terminal and copy and paste sudo apt-get update and enter the password, it takes some time, but it can update all the servers and everything it needs to install new packages. And then I can install each of these packages. Now, in order to use our time, I just suggest you to do that yourself. So, because previously I've installed all these packages, and it's very easy to install it on different OSs. You can find the command prompt version, actually command prompt method to install them, or even there are some UI methods for different OSs. It's I think your duty to find that for your specific OS, but for Ubuntu it's exactly how we wrote it here. So we can just copy and paste it in terminal and hit enter and wait for it to finish. After that, you want to install the log analyzer itself. So you have different ways to do that. The first way is to just copy this command and go here. Let's clear this. So you need to first go to the folder that you're aiming to install this software there. Actually, you can use this software anywhere else in the system, but we have to clone this or actually download this and run the setup file there, and then you can use it in the whole system. But I'm actually talking about the folder that I'm going to save a log analyzer. So in desktop and in log analyzer setup, I want to clone this and install it. So if I just paste the first command here and hit enter, it starts to download the folder and all its files. So yeah, it's done. And you have also two other options. You can download the whole package and then extract it wherever you want, and also you can copy it here. This is the link you have. Copy it, and then you can just hit clone and paste it and hit enter. That's the same as the previous command that I said. Exactly like this. So the next move is to hit this command, which is going to Namira log analyzer folder, and then you have two available methods to install it. You can use either one. So I go with the first one. Done. It's done. It's very fast to install it. And the second one works the same. I can show you. You don't need to do that twice. I mean, use the first and second together, but I want to show you both of them can install it. So yes, it's done, and it's a successfully installed log analyzer one, because as you saw, I installed it here, so it had to uninstall the previous one and install the new one. So at least we know that it installed log analyzer. And there's another command here, which I hope you don't need to use it, which is for uninstalling the package, which is pip uninstall a log analyzer. So now you know what is log analyzer and how it can help you, and how to install it on your system. Let's go and see what are the features it has and how you can use it actually for the log files you have. So this package gives you a lot of different stats that you may not be able to find out easily, but just by watching games. So you know that we have different actions like pass, shoot, and we have a lot of cool stats like position of the game, like position of the ball, which is the amount of time that each team could own the ball, which is very important in soccer, and also where each agent was more, throughout the field, and amount of distance that each agent could travel, the amount of energy that each agent consumed throughout the game, and how much energy it used per distance, or per meter for each agent. It shows the optimumity of how much optimum it is, and a lot of other cool stuff. So if I want to talk about pass, we have pass counting, which is the number of pass, but in different ways. So we counted the number of passes in width, number of passes in length. So passes in width are the passes that the distance, the difference actually between y is more than difference between x. So the starting point and ending point has two positions. If the difference of the y is more than difference of x in these two positions, we say that it was a pass in width. Otherwise, we say it was a pass in length. And it may be important for you to see how much you're going close to the goal, or how much you're expanding the game throughout the field. So we count them separately, and we also count number of passes in different regions. We have defined 9 different regions. You can see the graphical picture of that. So we have A, B, C up to I here, and for each of them, it will tell you how many passes happened, and also the number of true passes, and the number of wrong passes, and number of pass interceptions, pass accuracy, which all of them help you to determine the performance of your team. Also, we have another stat for shoot, which is number of shoots in width, in length, number of shoots in different regions, number of on-target and off-target shoots, and the accuracy of the shoot, which is the number of on-target shoots divided by the total number of shoots that the team had. Another part is the possession, which is, as I said, the amount of time that you could own the ball. We have it for different teams, like the whole team in different regions, which is the summation of all the times that all the players of that specific team was owner of the ball in that specific region, and we can separate it for each agent as well. So let's say, for example, in region E, each of the agents except the goalkeeper could own the ball 1%. So 10 agents of the team had 10% ownership here. So you can see that you had 10% position here. And for each player also we have it, which is, for example, for my example, is 1%. And you can also define your custom regions to see how much your team was owner of the ball in that specific region. We also consider the positions. So other than owning the ball, you may want to know where the players go. So this it considers both the times that the agent owns the ball and the times that he doesn't own the ball. So all the time that agent is moving, we track it, and you can find it here in the position section. So number of cycles that each player is present in each of these regions, and you can also define custom regions, as I said before. You'll have the distance each player moved throughout the game, the stamina usage per distance or per meter, and game heat map, and kick count, tackle count, and save count. So you will have a lot of stats, and we will add more in the future. So let's go and see how we can use this package. So to use it, you have two major ways or major methods that you can use. The first one is to use this command in the command line to generate a JSON file. Let's try this first. So now that I know that I've installed the package, I can use it. So copy and paste here. But before that, I need to make sure I have a data somewhere to refer to. Because I have to give it the directory and the path to a log file that I have. So if I do ls and I come back, I know that I have a data folder here, and you can see that I have a pair of files that are for one game, which was between Alias 2017 and FRA United. So I can move this folder to Namira log analyzer and log analyzer. Yes, I want to have it here. So I don't have it here anymore. I want to see if it's there in log analyzer folder. Yes, as you can see here, I just moved it from there to log analyzer folder so that I can refer to it easily. So here in terminal, let's maximize it. So as you can see, I am here in log analyzer folder, which is under Namira log analyzer. So here I have it. I want to run it, run the script. So I can type log analyzer space dash dash path space, and I can give the path to the log files. So I should say data, and then if I hit tab, it will show me all the options, and I should know that I can't use the format name like .rcl or .rcg. I should remove that, and I just give the name of the file without a format. So if I hit enter, it will take 2-3 minutes, 20 seconds to generate that. Okay, done. So if I go to the folder, you can see that I have one more data here, which is the name of the file, and the format is .log.json. So if I open that, it's JSON, so it's hard to read by using eyes. So we just created that so that you can easily read it from files. Like if you want to use Python or any other language to read this data and work on it, it would be very easy if it's in JSON. But there are also some online tools that you can use to visualize this. So let me show you. If I copy this here, and there are a lot of tools for JSON, for viewing JSON or beautifying JSON. So here's one of them called beautify.org and /JSON viewer. You can go there and paste the JSON data here. And if you say tree viewer, you can say beautify, you can say minify, or other stuff like converting it to XML or CSV. But the best thing I think here is tree viewer. So you can see that it has three main sections. The first section is game results, that shows the amount of goals each team scored, and for each team, for example right team and left team, you can see some stats like name of the team, true pass, number of true passes, number of intercepts. You can compare it with other team. Like here we have 63 for FRA United for true passes, but it's 124 for Helios. So it was much better, almost twice the number of passes that FRA had, which is very good. And also the position, for example, is 30% almost here, but it's around 70%, which again is almost twice or even more than that. So you can compare all these stuff, and you can also create tables if you want out of it to compare them one by one. But these are all the things we have now that we can produce out of the log file. You may suggest more and we can apply them. You can see, as you can see here, the stamina usage for each of them, for player number 1, player number 2, and so on and so forth. The move distance for each of them, for example, for number 8, sorry, it's index 7 because it starts from 0, but it's number 8. So for number 8, we have 1673.26 meters that it traveled throughout the game. And you can see the average distance covered for the 10 players, because we don't calculate it for goalkeeper, because goalkeeper is an exception. You can see it's around 600, but others are around 1,700 or something around that. So the average is for just players, not goalkeeper. And average stamina again for 10 players. You can see that. You can compare it with other team. Like here, the average distance covered for 10 players is 1694. It's 1697. It's so close. But the average stamina used here is 102,000, which is less than what Helios used, which is 118,000. So you can compare all these stats and see how much you could, how much well you could perform in that game, and to see what was the weaknesses and the strengths of your team, and you can focus on the ones that you think were important and influenced your loss. So another way to use it is to use it as a module. So you can see that you can import log analyzer after installation anywhere in any Python class and Python file, and then you can import parser, game analyzer, and also you can create a parser using this command because it's the constructor of the class parser, and you can give it the directory of the log file, and you can after that create the game, create the analyzer, and call the analyze function to analyze all the data you have and generate everything and save it in an analyzer. And then you can just call them to get the information. To show you how it works, we created a testcase.py file that you can see here. It prints out all the data that I showed you there, and also it creates, it draws a heat map for both teams. So let's run it. The only change I need to apply is the directory of the file. So I know that the file is under data, but oh, sorry, I have another thing in my cache, so I have to copy the file name again. I copy it. If I go to test case and replace the file name here and save it, then I just need to go to the terminal and say Python 3 to make sure I'm using Python 3, and then say testcase.py. That's it. So if I wait for 20 seconds or more or less, it depends on your system performance. So you'll see the results printed out here. Yes, the results are printed out here, and here is the heat map I was talking about. So you can see the X and Y, and you can see that what was the relative frequency of the activity of both teams in the game. So you can see that most of the game was playing here and around the center of the field, but around the corners it was like less activity from players. Alright, so you can see the same stats I showed you there in the JSON file, like through passes, run passes, and so on and so forth, and the stamina usage for each player separated for each of them, and move distance for each of them. And you can also create new features by for example dividing one of them to the other, or for example finding the ratio of length over width, passes in length over passes in width, and so on. So you are free to do more changes, and you can see the regions that ball was present. So you can find out that okay, in G and F and I, ball was present. So G and let's see G and I here. G and I is the left and right side of the defense for right team, and left and right side of the forward for left team. So you can easily guess that okay, Helios was left because he could score 2 goals, and probably he was putting pressure on FRA using these two regions. And probably the H is very few because it's a very dangerous area, and you can also find many other information. You can see each agent's owner cycles and position cycles here. For example, in region C, the agent number 2 was owner for 5 cycles throughout the game, and however he was there for 131 cycles. So throughout all that cycles, he was owner for 5 cycles. So you can divide this to that and see what was the percentage of ownership for each player in each region. And you may find more combinatory features. So these are the two main ways you can use it. And finally, if you have any questions, you can send us your questions throughout email, and we have put our emails here under our names. You can just click on it and or copy email address and use it in your browser. And please, if you're using this for any research, or if you're using it for your tournaments, for participating in tournaments and so on, please cite our 2 articles that are relevant to this work. So for example, this one, we have put the PDF file as well. So if you click on this, you have access to the PDF file. If I go further, you can find out. Okay, yes, we have tournament planning and analyzing software. So actually, Log Analyzer is a part of this TPAS, or tournament planning and analyzing software, which helps you to play friendly matches or World Cup matches, tournaments, leagues, and so on. So you can create leagues or tournaments that are custom, and you can customize the game settings, and then select the teams you want them to play, create groups, and then let them play, and you can see the results respectively, and also you can see the stats of each game using Log Analyzer. So it's a part of the engine that is a backend for TPass. We have not yet released TPass, but we're going to do it very soon, and you will have both of them together. But for now, you can use Log Analyzer itself separately by just having log files. Another thing to mention, which is the last thing, is I have a great colleague, Mr. Nader Zare, who is creating different tutorials for Soccer 2D simulation environments. They are now in Persian, but we're trying to also have subtitles in English, or probably English versions that you can use. And please subscribe in our channel, and you will find much more tutorials about Soccer 2D simulation or other robotic environments that we are using. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Again, please don't forget to send us email for any questions or suggestions, and we will be happy to help you. Thanks, and have a great day.